Every histotech knows this sound and sight. A poorly processed fat block or severely dried out tissue specimen hits the microtome blade, crumbles into dust, and fails to yield a single usable section. But those samples aren't necessarily lost. Today, we're going to break down two specific, reliable methods to reconstitute these difficult blocks and restore their normal cellular architecture so you can get a clean cut. Before we start either rescue procedure, you'll need to gather your tools. Have an incubator ready and set to 65 degrees Celsius. You'll also need a 0.9% isotonic saline solution, 10% neutral buffered formalin, and depending on your tissue's specific problem, an appropriate reconstitution buffer like EDTA. Mastering these protocols is an essential part of laboratory procedure. It ensures that difficult, irreplaceable patient biopsies yield the vital diagnostic information they were meant to provide, rather than ending up in the biohazard bin. Both of the methods we will cover require the same critical first step: physical preparation. You must first carefully melt down the problematic block to safely extract the embedded tissue. Once the tissue is out, you need to gently blot off any excess wax from the specimen and then place it into a newly labeled cassette. Take your time with this blotting phase. If a thick barrier of cold wax remains on the tissue, it will physically block our liquid reagents from penetrating the cells during the subsequent steps. If you skip this mechanical removal of the wax, the chemical reconstitution methods that follow simply will not work. That brings us to our first protocol, Taggart's method. This is the primary solution specifically designed for salvaging poorly processed fat-heavy specimens. Take your newly loaded cassette and submerge it in a beaker filled with your isotonic saline. Place that beaker directly into your 65 degrees Celsius incubator and leave it there for exactly 1 hour. Inside that heated environment, any remaining unwanted wax melts away from the tissue and naturally rises to float on the surface of the saline. Look closely at this baseline histological view of a failed fat block before any treatment. Notice the sparse, highly fragmented cellular architecture. The torn edges and large, empty structural gaps make it nearly impossible for a pathologist to render an accurate diagnosis. Now, compare it to this second slide, showing the exact same type of fat specimen after undergoing Taggart's method. The clean, contiguous cellular details and defined tissue borders are completely restored. Combining controlled heat with isotonic saline safely strips the residual wax while keeping the delicate fat architecture intact. For our second protocol, we shift away from fatty tissues to tackle brittle, overdried biopsies using a slow reverse processing and reconstitution method. The required timing here depends entirely on the size of your specimen. Small biopsies will only need about 2 hours at ambient room temperature, while larger tissues require a soak overnight in a 65 degrees Celsius incubator. For the chemical soak itself, you'll submerge the cassettes in a targeted reconstitution agent. An EDTA-based retrieval solution or a pH 10.2 tris buffer are highly effective choices for breaking down crosslinks and softening the tissue. Here we have an image of dried specimens prior to chemical treatment. Against the ruler, you can clearly see they are rigid, shriveled, and dark. Attempting to cut these would tear the tissue apart. And here are the same tissues after proper chemical reconstitution. They have regained plumped, rehydrated volume and clear physical pliability. Beyond just physical softness, this chemical rehydration reestablishes the tissue's normal eosinophilia. This ensures that the cellular structures will eagerly and properly absorb your stains during final slide preparation. Now that the tissues are rehydrated and free of excess wax, carefully remove the cassettes from their respective saline or buffer baths. Your next mandatory step is to submerge these cassettes in 10% neutral buffered formalin for an additional period. Even though these specimens were previously fixed in formalin and alcohol, this secondary formalin exposure provides vital additional structural cross-linking that benefits the newly re-expanded tissue. Finally, move the specimens back to your main processor. Do not attempt to save time by using a shortened, rapid reprocessing schedule. Returning to a full-length processing schedule, appropriate for the original size and nature of the specimen, is the only way to lock in the structural gains you've just achieved. Following that final run through the processor, your blocks will emerge fully re-impregnated with fresh wax. They are now completely stable, solid, and ready to be faced smoothly on the microtome. Whether you used Taggart's saline method for stubborn fat or the EDTA soak for dried-out biopsies, the result is the same: critical patient data successfully reclaimed from undiagnostic waste. Take the time to document these specific chemical choices, temperatures, and timings, and formalize them into your laboratory's standard operating procedures, because with the correct application of targeted thermal and chemical protocols, a difficult tissue block is rarely a lost cause.